91.5 WBIM presents Bridgewater's Saturday Night Soundtrack with Robb Hicks. Whoever you're with, wherever you're going, whatever you're doing, don't stop. Just turn us up. Coming to you live from the Adrian Rondelou Campus Center. We are your destination for commercial-free classic rock to power your nights. Bruce Springsteen, Tom Petty, Pearl Jam, Eric Clapton, AC/DC, Zeppelin, Foo Fighters, Aerosmith, The Clash, Nirvana, Guns N' Roses, Rolling Stones, Soundgarden, Van Halen, and hundreds more. 5 decades, thousands of songs, and one show to rule them all.
All kinds of cool bands.
You guys rock. We are all request at 508-531-1303.
I can hear what I want when I want.
Every song just rocks.
So go get some food in the belly, gas in the tank, and prepare to make your Saturday night something classic. The Saturday Night Soundtrack with Robb Hicks begins now on Bridgewater's own 91.5 WBIM.
It's 91.5 WBIM Bridgewater Saturday Night Soundtrack. We are back. Welcome, Robb Hicks, Steve Rimmer. Jarrod Barbetta is not with us this week. He's on Jarrod. This isn't going to be one of those cases where he may be late and he's going to bring us pizza, or he tells us he's going to be late and then he gets here at 4:50. He's just not coming in. But he's going to be back with us next week. We are going to be here next week. It's going to be our last show of the spring semester next week. God, it went by fast.
Yes, it did.
Fast. But we've kicked off 6 hours of classic rock. That is the good news. So welcome to that. And give us a call, 508-531-1303. It is all request classic rock for 6 hours. And I'm kind of lazy today. I don't know. It's just one of those days. It was so nice out that the brain cells haven't really fired because I'm just enjoying how nice it is out. So if you call us up and tell us what to play, it makes me not have to think about what I need to do. So you tell us what we should do. You can like us on Facebook, Saturday Night Soundtrack, and you can also follow us on Twitter at SN Soundtrack. And you're probably thinking to yourself, well, why am I going to bother doing that now? There's only a couple of shows left in the semester. Well, some pretty good reasons why. Well, number one, we're going to keep it going during the summer. Obviously, we're not going to be doing shows, but I'm going to keep the Twitter going. I'm going to keep the Facebook going. I'm going to post articles, classic rock related. Going to post just anything that's interesting in pop culture in general. We'll post up there. I've already given some thought to whether or not I want to do, and I do want to do some best ofs, I think. So I think we're going to be putting together some clips. We could do a best of Mikey D. We could do a best of the Microphone Creek. Best of Jarrod. That one's going to be like a minute.
Yeah, exactly. Not much there for that one.
And stuff like that. So we're gonna make you feel like you're not alone, like your best classic rock friends did not leave for the summer and just abandon you. So like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter so you can get all that good extra stuff. Something I haven't done in a while, and since we're talking about, I don't think this is bad. I just want to remind people what this show's actually all about. Because as we go into the hiatus, again, we've got one more show next week, but we're going to be going into the hiatus after that, not back until September. I want these people to follow us on Twitter and like us on Facebook, so I want them to know what the show's all about. The whole idea is that we are the soundtrack to your Saturday night. Whatever you're doing, you can take us along and you can listen to us, and it's all request classic rock. You can call us up and tell us what to play. Basically, it's whatever you're doing. Finals are upon us now, or upon you guys, suckers. Finals are upon you. So if you're hanging around tonight and you're surrounded by stacks of books like your Lee Oswald in the Texas Book Depository, well, you can call us up and request a song and let us know what's going to make it that much easier to get through, and then you don't have to waste time making goofy playlists on your own computer or iPhone or whatever you want, and it's commercial free, and you get everything you want that way. On the other hand, if you're burnt out and you're saying, "Hey, I'm just gonna go out on the town and be out in Bridgewater," whatever you folks do in Bridgewater, I've kind of lost track of what that might be.
They walk the streets by the looks of it.
Yes, they do. So we've just called you streetwalkers. If you're going to Bogart's or Johnny Macaroni's, and I mentioned them because they're the two names of places that I still know exist. and only know that because of Mikey D. You can keep us on for that. And if you're going anywhere else, if you're going into Boston or whatever, well, good luck, because we're 184 watts, so you can't really take us with it. You can if you've got the TuneIn Radio app and it's working. I'm not sure what the likelihood is of that, because the last few have you even tried it in the last few weeks?
No.
I think we're probably going to be dropping that from our promos pretty soon. For next semester, I think we're going to probably try to tout some different things. But anyway, that's what we're all about. I host the show, usually along with Jarrod Barbetta and Steve Rimmer. I attempt to maintain a level of smooth professionalism despite Jarrod interrupting to mention which artists we play frequently on the show that he hates.
What are you doing?
What do you do? What's that on your phone? What are you pressing? We have one caller that I like to berate at least once per show.
Yes.
Whether it be calling him out about calling other shows or just telling him that his requests suck. Depends on how cranky I am that particular day. That happens sometimes too. And let's see what else. Oh, and Mikey D comes in a couple of times every show, yelling and screaming about something. Usually,
what's he doing tonight?
I don't know. He's usually yelling and screaming about spaghetti or burying people or some bullshit.
Exactly.
So that's our show. So welcome to it. And if that sounds like fun, oh boy, you are in for it. I don't know what Mikey D's bringing. He usually brings up a vinyl selection too, obviously, and I don't know what he brought. So we're going to have to wait. It's a surprise. Usually it's sitting here waiting for me. He usually brings it in and gives it to John Coombs, and it's sitting here, and I know, and I can prepare, and I can be all excited for it.
No, not tonight.
No, not this week. No. You had mentioned in a message to me that you didn't really have all that much to bring, but I see some stuff in there.
The stuff.
Is it just not as much as it usually is?
There's not as much show and tell as usual.
No.
Yeah.
Well, it's just, you know why? It's because Jarrod's not here, isn't it? You felt it wasn't worth it because he wasn't here.
Exactly.
I understand. I understand how it works.
Yeah.
508-531-1303. Give us a call for requests. We're going to kick off the next classic rock block with a song that has absolutely nothing to do with how beautiful it was out today.
Saturday nights and classic rock. They just go together like bacon and hot fudge sundaes.
Whatever.
Just trust us on this, okay? Bacon and hot fudge sundaes. Yum. The Saturday night soundtrack with Rob Hicks on 91.5 WBIM.
91.5 WBIM Bridgewater. Saturday night soundtrack. It's Billy Joel there off Iron Curtain and Allentown. Before that, heard from Eric Clapton, Metallica, Boston, and CCR, all in the same classic rock block. Rob Hicks here with you. Steve Rimmer and Mikey D has joined us at 5:35, which is early for him.
Hello, friends.
Hello.
And good friends, too. What few remain.
And I'm gonna do an editorial thing that Mikey D has done in the past too when he realizes that he said something wrong. It was Nylon Curtain, not Iron Curtain. That album.
Oh, okay.
That Allentown came off of.
Yes.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
I don't want people out there going, "Where's Iron Curtain? That sounds like a great album." I cannot find it.
As soon as that red light went on up there to say that we're on air, guess what I forgot to do today on my way in? That reminded me of it.
What? Oh,
Stop at the red light?
Well, I always stop
That?
there unless I want to get a ticket.
that and
That guy named Kate that works at the store around the corner.
I don't think he listens to us anymore.
Does he exist, though?
I don't know. I don't know what's happening. Yeah.
Okay. If he does, then he'll call. If he doesn't call, then maybe he just, for some reason, isn't with us no more.
I think he's with the Mary Lou girls.
They've just abducted him.
Yes.
He's just gone.
Oh, abduction?
He's in a better place.
Yeah.
Trust
Oh,
me.
and when you say abduction?
Yeah.
I mean the Greys, the aliens, finally got a hold of him, and they took him to the far outer reaches of space and time?
Or the Mary Lou's girls abducted him
I
either
think
way.
it's-
Oh,
Yes.
who would you rather go with?
For? Well, I'm married, so I'll go with the aliens.
I'll go
All
with the Mary Lou girls. I don't care.
Well, since I have Kathy, I'll go with either. As long as she can come with us.
There you go.
All right, let's
What if
go.
they're alien Mary Lou's girls? You know what I mean?
That'd
I
be
mean,
better.
they're branching out.
Imagine
They're opening.
Getting on
places all
some
over.
UFO, drinking Mary Lou's coffee. That'll be the ultimate.
That would be perfect. That would be perfect. They just opened one in Kingston. Kingston hadn't had one for. They had one in Kingston for a while, where that Cumberland Farms is now.
Yes.
And they closed that one, opened the Cumberland Farms, obviously. Nobody in Bridgewater cares anything about what I'm talking about, but that's fine. And then, so I've been having to drive down on the days that I go for coffee in the morning to Plymouth to Exit 5 where BJ's is and stuff.
Yeah, opposite the hospital.
Yeah, I've been going down there and it's not that far from where I am. It's 4 short exits on the highway, not a big deal. But I go down there and come back, and now I haven't had to do that because they just opened one where ironically, where the Tedeschi's is in Kingston, where the post office is.
There you go.
Oh, no kidding.
So, so now there's one closer to me, closer to my heart.
Once in a while, we get out and about, and I'll travel a few miles just to try another coffee. What the heck?
It's worth it, yeah. I mean, Dunkin' Donuts is what I drink during the week when I go to work because I have to, because that's the only thing there. And Star Sucks is the only other thing that's close to Dunkies, and I'm not going there.
I'll make my own,
ever.
Which I have.
Yeah. But
Sucks.
but I mean, the only other one that I've ever tried that I sort of liked on occasion was Honeydew, but there aren't a lot of Honeydews around anymore. No. They keep closing them. So, and I never thought it was that fantastic to begin with. So not a huge loss. So now it's just Mary Lou's, and now they got one in Kingston. I am happy.
No kidding.
Yeah.
I've never had a Mary Lou's.
You should.
I know.
It's delicious.
They're all over the place now.
Yeah, they're everywhere. The thing is, it's strictly which I mean, people here are fine with it. It's strictly a South Shore thing. So I go to work and I'm at work with people from Boston and the North Shore, and they're seeing the Mary Lou's Cup, and I'm telling them about how good Mary Lou's is, and they're like, "Huh?" Because they don't get what they don't understand what I'm talking about. No idea.
City folk, it's
no clue whatsoever. So 508-531-1303. Call us up. If you happen to be Nate, if you happen to be Greg Black, or if you happen to be a new listener, or, I'm sorry, a long-time listener but a first-time caller, please make that happen. And like us on Facebook, Saturday Night Soundtrack. Follow us on Twitter, at SN Soundtrack. Mike, this is our second-to-last show.
So it's you guys definitely going to be here next week?
Yes. Yeah, we're going to be here next week.
I will, too. I'm in the building anyway.
Yeah, you have to be in the... I think we talked about this before. How long do you have to be in the building until you get to... I mean, do you get a summer vacation? How does that work?
No, I get vacation. I get time off.
Okay, but you're not
time, vacation time, sick time. So,
but you're still here. You're still here maintaining during the summer in general, unless you take some.
Once
of that
graduation,
time.
I might take a little bit of time off here and there during the summer.
Gotcha.
But we're basically back here. The building closes early as usual. Once graduation happens, and the building closes early every night most of the summer. Not open till 11 p.m.
Steve, what do you picture Mikey D doing in his spare time? I picture him going to Johnny Macaroni's, getting a whole lot of food, taking leftovers home, playing records, and yelling.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yelling. That's my natural voice.
to Dashi workers.
Wait, summer's here, so, it's called fishing, beaches, the infamous Cape League, whatever else I can dig up.
Nice. So you're out. You like to go out and just enjoy the weather and do whatever is out there.
The great old outdoors.
I don't remember. I don't think I've fished since I was, fishing with some family friends that I knew when I was, 5 years old.
No, I fished 2 years ago.
Oh, did you really?
Yes, I did.
Did you?
Still don't like putting worms on the hook, though.
No, Christ, toughen up, you
I know.
You sissy bitch.
I know.
A worm, Jesus.
Oh,
You're going to be kidding me. You're harsh. Yeah, you are harsh. Well, just with you not fishing, look at the worms we're saving. All right.
But Steve goes out and gardens, though. You said you got a green... well, if you have time to do it.
I used to. Yeah. In fact, the wife was out today, and I couldn't help her, unfortunately.
Oh, that's true, yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
Well, maybe next weekend, Steve. Maybe next weekend.
Yeah.
No excuses. We got good weather upon us. So,
right.
I know. Monday, it's going to be 80.
When in season, Mikey D and Mr. Hicksville over there, we expect tomatoes, cucumbers, and red leaf lettuce.
Oh.
And if you have an onion, throw that in there, too.
You'll get it.
I'll share my cellar with Rob.
Do you grow chocolate? I like chocolate.
No, I
That's
don't
my
grow
answer to that.
chocolate, no.
Well,
All right.
See, on my travels, I'll see if I can find a chocolate bush somewhere.
I don't know.
All right, what's coming up there, kid?
I want a chocolate bush. So we got some Blue Oyster Cult live vinyl from Mikey D. And
on your feet or on your knees, it's called.
Yep.
Their first live album,
What's
double
the
live
year on
album.
this?
I want to say, see if you can dig up. I bet you it's going to say 1976.
Why do they always put everything on? 75.
Oh, I was close.
They were
I know
close.
it goes back.
You get
Goes
credit
back
for,
a few years.
You get credit for being close.
All right, we're going to do. What's the first cut off that we're going to do?
First cut we're going to do is a song called Cities on Flame I love this song. I believe the studio version has the full title of the studio cut was Cities on Flame with Rock and Roll.
Yeah.
On this live album, it's just called Cities on Flame, but obviously same exact song.
And of course we have, we won't say it now, but later on in the show, a great song coming up off the same album from Louis Occult, a cover. But you'll know later on. So this is going out to that pesky crew with that Joel, who owns that place up around the corner. Joel Mess. Because he's a friggin' mess as it is anyway, so.
B.I.M.
Right. B.I.M. We're out of here. Keep listening.
Todd Rundgren, 91.5 WBIM Bridgewater. Saturday night soundtrack. Don't we all feel like that? We don't want to work. We just want to bang on the drum or at least play classic rock.
I don't have to work for 2 weeks, so I'm quite happy to bang on the drum all day. I have no problem with that.
I don't want to work either, but I want to play classic rock until 11 o'clock, so that's what the Saturday night soundtrack's all about.
That's not work, though.
No, it's not work. It's fun. It's all fun.
Call us drums all day? I don't know if I could do that.
No?
No.
Doesn't work for you? What about emptying trash cans and cleaning up after people?
Yeah,
Can you do that all day?
But then
you better be able to, I guess.
I should have learned years ago the electric guitar. Play lead.
All of us should have probably learned some sort of skill like that.
Me on lead guitar and harmonica, lead throat. I got the mouth for it. You keep on telling me that. Hey, hear him. That's true. He agrees.
This guy's perfect for a wind instrument. He can go all day.
Yeah.
Oh, ba-boom.
Okay. Me, harmonica, lead throat, and lead guitar. Steve, how about you?
Keyboards.
All right. I expect. I don't know. I'll manage you guys. How's that?
Okay. Yeah, we need a manager.
This is kind of what I do here.
What about the empty seat who's not here tonight?
I don't know what he can. He can bring us. He can bring the food. And he can play guitar, right?
Yeah, bass guitar. How's that?
Does he play bass guitar or regular guitar?
No, regular.
Oh, okay.
Well,
you guys need a guitar player anyway, because if you're doing harmonica and you're doing keyboards.
But I did say lead throat, harmonica, and lead guitar.
Oh, okay. Well, you're gonna have to.
All right, we'll put him at whether he likes or not. King Jarrod, we'll put him at bass guitar because he can't do much of anything else.
How about you do it like I saw something done at a WBIM meeting earlier this week that I'll talk about later on? Arm wrestle for it.
They really arm wrestled?
Yeah. Actually, I think they suggested arm wrestling and then resorted to rock, paper, scissors.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm okay with either one.
Yeah.
Arm wrestling might be more entertaining, but we're flexible.
What did the winner get?
A shift. The shift they wanted.
Shift?
Yes.
Oh.
Yes.
Okay.
Nothing else.
Okay.
Just a shift. So if you guys, I'm assuming you guys have been following the news about all the Baltimore stuff, right?
Uh-huh.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Impressions?
You didn't play the song.
Well, I thought we were going to play it after.
Well, you could.
Okay. Well, that's how it's going to go now.
Oh, okay. No, I like the fact that the six of them were...
Back in winter, summer, whenever it was, I forget, you had Ferguson, you got Baltimore now. I mean, so I don't know what's going on out there.
I don't know what's happening. Did either of you guys hear the audio or see the report of Geraldo Rivera fighting with some of the demonstrators?
Yes, I did. Yes.
Was that recently?
Yeah. It was just this past week, right?
Was it a riot?
Yeah. Well, it wasn't a. Yeah. It's a riot in that it's
more ways than one.
A riot in that it's hilarious. So here he is, basically just arguing with a couple of the protesters there.
Here's your forecast.
And what was his issue?
Well, his issue was basically just that they were standing in front of his camera, and it was basically nothing more than that.
Hey, Sean, it's a very excited crowd
closer.
where I am standing right now.
Oh, you got it on.
The deadline has come. The deadline has come. And now we will see if the people clear. I'm with the state Senate Majority Leader, Pugh. Come on, get out of the way, man. Get out of the way.
Don't touch me.
Well, stop blocking my camera. Stop blocking my camera.
It's important to mention at this point that Geraldo Rivera is 71 years old. And he's out there basically like, he's pretty much just he's the cranky old white man in the middle of that crowd, just basically kicking up a ruckus. Is pretty much what it is, and it's great. I love this next part when he tries to basically just admonish the protester.
Come on, stop it. Stop it. You're making a fool of yourself.
He basically, he's trying to diffuse a protester by using a contraction that parents use incessantly with 4-year-olds. Stop it! Stop it! You're making a fool of yourself. You were going to say something, Mike.
Yeah. He's just, as usual, like the rest of them, he's another puppet for the the Illuminati or whatever. You know what I mean? That's a role though from the mainstream media. So I have my opinion on him.
Where's Jarrod?
At times.
Where's Jarrod when you need him?
I
Oh
don't
yeah.
know.
Now, if he was here and I said that, I'd have to duck and something would be official would coming my way because he's the secretary back in day.
Wow!
I'm keeping quiet.
Holy crap!
Steve, what do you mean keep quiet? No, you have every right to voice your opinion.
Absolutely.
Whether we agree or not, it's your freedom.
Always do.
All these highlights will be on YouTube this week. Hopefully, Jarrod will get an opportunity to check them out once they are posted. And that's all I have to say about that.
You mean I can hear myself on YouTube?
You can hear
Of course
you.
you can.
Yeah, we've mentioned this before.
I know you did, didn't you?
Yeah.
A couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, we do every show that we do here. So basically, what I do is I cut all the music out.
Since it's radio.
Yeah.
And you can hear our voices.
Yeah.
What's being shown on the YouTube screen?
It's just it's a still picture of the soundboard here.
Oh, no kidding.
With Saturday Night Soundtrack at the top, and then the date and episode number of the show at the bottom.
Can I do that later on?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, wow. Saturday Night Soundtrack with Robb Hicks.
Yeah, all you have to do, so go on YouTube, you want to search for Saturday Night Soundtrack, and then you want to look specifically for channels, because I've noticed that if you search for Saturday Night Soundtrack, you get a whole bunch of like Saturday Night Fever.
Exactly.
And all that junk.
Yep.
That's not what you want.
No.
But if you click on channels, we're actually right at the top. So all you have to do is type Saturday Night Soundtrack, filter for channels, it's there,
That's
and then you can find all the old highlights.
As Mo Howard would say, quiet, numbskulls on broadcasting. All right, what's up next, kiddo?
Well, we actually, based on our Baltimore conversation, we have some Zappa coming up.
Beautiful.
Yeah, this is
Live Zappa.
Live Zappa. It's courtesy from Steve. And since I decided to play the song after, said it before, is there anything we should mention, or did it not flow?
No, it would have flowed better probably the other way around, but that's okay. You're here.
The name of the song is What's New in Baltimore. A lot.
We know what's new in Baltimore.
Yeah. As we have just covered. Geraldo Rivera's in Baltimore.
Riot.
508-531-1303. It's Frank Zappa. You're listening to Saturday Night Soundtrack. 91.5 WBIM. It's Counting Crows. 91.5 WBIM Bridgewater. Saturday Night Soundtrack. Robb Hicks here with you. Steve Rimmer across from me, 637.
Hello.
And I feel old because Adam Duritz is 50 years old now.
Oh, my God.
He turned 50 last August. He's closer to 51 now than 50 because he turned 50 last year.
No, we haven't mentioned Benny King yet tonight. He died last week.
Oh.
He died 2 days ago, actually.
Did not know that at all.
Yes.
That is sad. Rest
Stand
in
by
peace,
Me.
Benny King.
Exactly.
While Stand By Me by Benny King is a little bit out of our wheelhouse of classic rock, I think we'll pay tribute to him in a different way, and we'll do that in the next block.
Yeah.
I've got an idea.
Okay.
I have an idea kicking around in my head.
I have an idea.
And my ideas are always fun, and if not dangerous, so it'll be entertaining.
Exactly.
Jonathan Edwards. Before that, we had a Beatles block. Heard a couple from the band, and Paul McCartney with Wings, and Frank Zappa kicked it off in that last block. So anything you want to hear, you can get it on.
We have everything.
Oh, we've got it all. If not evidenced by that last block that went from Frank Zappa to Beatles through Jonathan Edwards and Counting Crows. I don't really know what one other way we can have to prove to you that we got anything you ever want. 508-531-1303. As mentioned previously, Jarrod won't be with us tonight, but he's going to rejoin us for the season-ending episode next week. And Mr. Rimmer has shown great dedication to the program by bringing himself in tonight. He just had surgery, albeit, what is considered minor, but had surgery over the past week. He had it on Wednesday.
Yes.
And was coming in here today.
Yes.
And
first time driving.
And so I sent him a message today. We had talked about it earlier in the week, and I basically said, don't push yourself, sir. And if I'm always glad to have you on the show. If you're still in recuperation status, I obviously completely understand. And basically from the beginning, he was like, if there is a way for me to get there, then I'll get there. And I said, cool. So you were pretty impressed. But Steve and I have both had the same kind of surgery. We've just had it in different ways.
Hernia.
Yes, hernia surgery.
Exactly.
Yeah, which I was told when I went in, they basically said, this is one of the most common surgeries you can ever have. And I said, well, that makes me feel good. And they told me, when I went in, and I had mine a couple of years ago, this past summer, they had told me Well, listen, we can do it laparoscopically, and no issue. That's very minor, and it's very easy, and it's fine. And then the surgeon saw my hernia, and he said, okay,
oh, no.
So what we're going to do is we're actually going to do an open incision surgery. And I said, oh, okay. Steve was actually able to have the laparoscopic surgery. So the week that I spent basically walking around with a cane, or a week and a half, I guess.
I had my cane on hold.
Okay, well, that's good.
I was ready.
It's good that you still had it,
yes,
and that you were prepared. I needed mine for at least a week.
My problem was trying to drag it out a little bit so the wife does more for me.
Yeah,
oh, honey, I can't get up. I'm sorry. You have to get that for me.
Yep.
I'm still working on that.
That's exactly how it goes.
Yep.
I basically wasn't able to move for a couple of days, or when I did, it was a major feat. So I didn't really have to fake it all that much, is what it came down to. I told Steve on the way in here that there is a certain solace that comes with hernia surgery or any kind of surgery recovery, in that not much is expected of you.
No.
Within that week or two.
And you get to play with oxycodone.
Absolutely.
Yes.
It's fun. I played with Vicodin myself.
Okay.
We are not drug addicts here on Saturday Night Soundtrack.
Because we're not sale if you need some.
Because we're not still taking it, and and Steve just had his surgery on Wednesday, and he's not still taking it. So there you go. But there's a certain, I don't know, that peace, enjoyment that comes with the fact that there were particular days during my surgery recovery, where the only items on my to-do list were literally walk upstairs and poop.
Yes.
Those are the two things I was required to do in the span of like 9 or 10 hours, or however long I was going to be at home by myself.
I actually went outside and walked today to help things along.
It was a great day to do that.
It was a great day. Yeah.
I was a little skeptical this morning. It was a little misty. Looked like it was...
it was misty on the way out.
Looks like it could go either way.
Yep, I turned around and came back and the sun came up.
Oh, there you go.
So it was perfect.
Anything else come up? So yeah, Steve and I have been trading details and excitement about our
wonderful thing to talk about on the radio.
We haven't. I'm not going to divulge all the details because you people need some mystery.
Yes.
I will ask you this though: Did they have to install hardwood floors downstairs like you were concerned about last week?
No.
Okay.
No.
I didn't know how that would.
They didn't actually.
Didn't know how that would work for yours.
I know. I was worried about the flip flop, but no. It was fine.
I'm glad everything went smoothly in that department too.
You know.
Our listenership is grateful to us.
I've never had so many people viewing that part of my anatomy before as I've had over the past 3 weeks.
That's good?
I don't know whether it's good or not.
I mean,
it was enlightening.
It depends on who it is and if it's all at one time, and you know. I believe the surgeon when I had to go in and have my appointment and have him, take a look at mine, I believe what he said exactly was, oh, yeah, you want to do that because you're going to have to be carried out in a wheelbarrow if you don't get that fixed.
Oh, God.
That's not what you want to hear.
No.
Not what you want to hear. But apparently we're both okay.
Yes.
We're both fine.
We're fine.
And that's good.
I'm okay for a few more years now.
There you go. You just get, once you get your guts put back in where they belong, then everything's smooth sailing.
I'm just waiting for the Alzheimer's now.
As far as that's concerned.
That's the thing that'll come next.
I feel like,
what did I just say?
There's some days when I worry that... There was a day this past week, I left for work, and I turned left out of my street, and completely I couldn't for a second think of where I was going, or why I was going that way. And I was supposed to get on Route 3, and I just missed. And it was only a second. It was like a split second to a second where I just blanked and was like, "Where am I? Am I going to the train? Am I going to the radio station? Where am I going?" And then, in that second of time that it took for the thought to come back to me, "Hey, you got to get to work." There went the entry ramp to the highway, and I was like, "Oh crap!" So I had to turn around in a parking lot and go back, and I was like, "I don't know."
You know what, though? So much of that is because you do it on a daily basis.
True.
You get to the point where you don't even think about it.
It's true.
And when you do think about it, it's kind of astonishing.
I don't even know why all of a sudden I was just like, what am I doing? It just wasn't working out for me.
No.
It wasn't happening. 508-531-1303. Got another big classic rock block on the way. We are going to kick it off with a song that I understand the sentiment behind the song. We're not quite there yet, BSC or BSU, whatever you are now. But you're close. You're that close. Song's coming up next. B.I.M.
Call in your classic rock request now at 508-531-1303. If you don't, Rob Hicks will play a half an hour of Bruce Hornsby.
That's just the way it is.
This is your chance to save the town of Bridgewater. 91.5 WBIM.
John Mellencamp is on 91.5 WBIM Bridgewater. Saturday night soundtrack. Rob Hicks, Steve Rimmer, and John Mellencamp is on his tour right now. It's called the Plain Spoken Tour.
He's still alive?
Yeah, he's still alive. And as a matter of
Wow.
fact, he was at the City Wang Theater this past month on April 15th as part of that Plain Spoken Tour. And he had some special guests. I can't remember her name. And doesn't matter because everybody, I think you're pretty much just going there to see John Mellencamp if you're a fan.
John Cougar Mellencamp.
He dropped the Cougar years ago. I liked better when he was Johnny Cougar.
Yes.
And basically, they were trying to make him sound like something out of 1958.
Exactly.
I say that jokingly. However, that's also sort of the era. Like, John Mellencamp, when he dropped the Cougar and just kind of went out with the two names.
Cougar wasn't his idea.
No, Cougar was the record company's
Exactly.
idea completely, 100%. But point being is that I actually like his music better either when he was Johnny Cougar or John Cougar Mellencamp. He became John Mellencamp and he became political, and I sort of tuned out.
Yeah.
Yeah. His late 70s, 80s stuff was still the best.
Yes.
And we'll leave it at that.
Exactly.
So as far as
he became Tom Petty.
Yes, he did. But the Tom Petty that I like and that you don't like. Speaking of things that people don't like, it's a good thing that Jarrod's not here tonight, or not here for this next segment, because we're going to talk about sports. Just to talk about the fact that I read someplace that they were saying that today is the biggest day in sports as far as just sheer number of events going on since 1994.
Well, you have the Kentucky Derby.
The Kentucky Derby. You got NHL playoffs are going on, which I don't think are the Bruins. The Bruins aren't in that now.
No, they're out of it.
Okay, that goes to show what I know about hockey. And you got the NBA playoffs are still going on.
The Celtics are not in that either.
No, they're not in that, but it's still happening for people. If you're into the sport and you don't really, you're not very team centric, it's still something that's going on.
That's true. You have the draft.
Exactly. You've got the draft. I was just going to say you get the third day. I think it's the third day because I think it started on. It started on Thursday.
Okay,
I believe.
So third day.
So third day of the NFL draft. You get the Kentucky Derby, as you mentioned. I think the Revs played. I'm not sure, but I believe we can throw that in the mix.
Yeah.
And, of course, the big event tonight is the Mayweather-Pacquiao fight.
Exactly.
That's going on. And
the biggest fight ever, they're saying? How can they beat?
They have been hyping this thing up so much. I laughed because I saw a thing earlier today that said that I guess Mayweather either made it. I don't think he put out a statement. I think he was either giving an interview or he happened to say, and it's funny because it already kind of sounds like damage control. Like he basically said, this would in no way, the outcome of this fight has no impact on, my legacy in the sport.
Okay.
That's sort of
giving up.
You're sort of like building in an excuse.
Exactly.
That's like me coming in here and being like, "Hey, no matter how much I screw up on this show,
it's fine.
It's not going to affect how I was in college." Okay, that's nice.
Yeah.
What does that mean for tonight? I don't really get it. And when they were doing I happen to think if you're going to say that this was the biggest day in sports since 1994, I think you just have to say that this was the biggest day in sports because wherever I read this at, they arrived at the fact that it was the biggest day in sports since 94 because one of the events in 94 that put it over the top was OJ's Bronco chase.
Yes.
That's not a sport.
That's not a sport.
It's sports related, I assume. Okay. Because he is a sportsman. But he was an actor too. Let's not forget.
Airplane.
Naked Gun.
Yep.
Airplane.
Yep.
Let's not forget all this. Or was he an Airplane or was that was Kareem? Or was he in it too?
No, I think he was. Now
I got to look this up. I know Kareem was because Kareem was the co-pilot in the cockpit.
I think you're right. Yeah.
I know for a fact that Kareem was the cockpit co-pilot. I didn't know if maybe OJ was sort of in there also because you know how those movies are.
Yeah.
Just stick everyone in there. But if you were thinking of the co-pilot, Kareem. Yeah. Do I see shades of Deep Purple in there?
Yes.
Oh, we're going to have to play that. We're playing that because...
they do a version of Hey Joe.
Do they really?
Yes, they do.
Hey Joe's a great song.
Yep.
And that's a great album.
And they do a version of Help.
Help is a great song, too.
Yep.
I lean towards Hey Joe.
Yeah, me too.
When given a choice between the two.
Me too.
So our food has been ordered, which is good. They had said about 45 minutes to get that in here.
Come on, Ray.
So I'm happy about that. I felt like the ultimate multitasker here.
Yes.
hosting the show, calling for our food.
That's very good.
Got it
That's
done.
looking up.
Got it done earlier than some people, but not gonna point any fingers.
Jarrod.
I think you were opening. I think you were looking. I think you were looking up O.J. Simpson.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
What was the last thing he was in? In prison.
Exactly.
508-531-1303. Call us up. Make requests. I know you're busy studying for finals, but it's Saturday night, and we're playing classic rock, and you have a particular classic rock song you want to hear that you can't locate in your iTunes library, and you don't want to go buy it again. Just call us.
We have it.
And ask for it, because we've got it. I can guarantee you, I don't even need to look. I know we've got whatever you want. So call us up and ask for it, please. Like us on Facebook, Saturday Night Soundtrack, and follow us on Twitter. It's at SN Soundtrack. Finding anything good?
He was in Towering Inferno, for Christ's sake.
Yeah, he was.
Don't remember that?
Now that I do remember, because I actually like that movie more than I should.
Yeah,
I don't know why. I mean, the 70s disaster movies I'm all about. That one I feel like was the cream of the crop, and it's probably because of the participation of Paul Newman.
Yes.
I love Paul Newman, and
even
though that
McQueen in that as well.
Yes, he was.
That's right.
And there was a deal that they came up with that actually they both had to have the same number of lines because they were both such big stars at the time. Let's see what somebody wants. BIM.
Hey, what's going on? It's Gregory.
What is going on, Gregory?
Gregory
Oh, not much.
Peggery.
I just got out of work. I was wondering if I could request a song.
Before you do that, I just want to point out that Steve just called you Gregory Peckery.
It's okay.
Do you know who Gregory Peck is?
I do not.
It's a good Zappa reference.
Yeah. Anyway, we'll move on from that. What do you want?
I would like to hear Copacabana by Barry Manilow.
Okay,
God.
that's the end of the show for me.
Oh, and that's our show.
And it's gone.
That's a funny one, Greg. What do you really want to hear?
How about Rainbow in the Dark by Dio?
Okay.
That's better.
Yeah, that's better.
Thank you.
Yeah, we can do that. Hey,
Sounds good.
Greg, while I got you on the phone, why the hell don't you like us on Facebook?
I do not have a Facebook.
Oh, come on, that's a lie. Everyone's got the Facebook. What do you still got MySpace and Friendster and that junk?
Look up Craig Black on Facebook. You won't find me, I promise.
I have. I mean, no, I haven't. What about, so I'm going to wager to guess that you don't have Twitter.
No, absolutely not.
Killing me, dude.
How old are you?
I am 19.
Oh my God!
You're killing me. You're absolutely
No, I'm trying to stay away from the whole social media thing. I've done good this far, so.
No, I admire
He's
that.
basically telling us not to derail him. I've done good this far. Don't F me up, guys.
Yes.
Is basically
I'm not trying to convert into that, you know?
No, I admire that.
You're going to miss us, man. You're going to miss us after next week.
Why? Are you guys not going to be here?
No.
What am I supposed to do all summer?
Exactly my point.
That's what I've been thinking.
If you had Facebook or you had Twitter, we would be posting. Because do you realize that and I probably shouldn't mention this either, do you realize that you're actually floating out there on YouTube in some fashion?
What do you mean?
Okay, because we take the highlights of this show, which is basically just us talking, and we combine them into YouTube clips that we throw up there every week.
No way. How can I just look this up on YouTube?
Yeah, all you have to do is, is this gonna violate your, what is it, your monk pact or something you got going on?
No, this sounds pretty interesting.
Okay, it is. I'll tell you that much.
Tell him how to.
Okay, so all you got to do is go on YouTube. You look up Saturday Night Soundtrack, just as three different words. You're going to see a whole bunch of Saturday Night Fever soundtrack baloney. You're going to want to just filter for channels instead.
Okay.
And when you filter for channels, we come right up. We're the first thing that shows up under Saturday Night Soundtrack in the channels filter in YouTube. And when you do that, you're going to see a whole bunch of different, it's broken out by episodes. And each episode is like an hour and a half, 2 hours long. And it's everything. I wanted to put our entire shows up, but you can't because of copyright junk.
Yep.
So it's basically the show without music, which is pretty much just this, what we're doing right now, just this.
I'm definitely going to look that up.
Yeah, because you're out there.
Yeah, you're on it.
Yes, truthfully, I'm not going to be around tonight, so that's why I gave you a call. But I'm glad you told me that.
Well, there you go. So now you can, point being is that when we're not here, trust me, I would like to be here during the summer. The building will not let us, is basically how it works.
That's unfortunate.
That's what we get for working at a college station when we're, 37 and
58.
up there. Yeah, I didn't know if you wanted to say.
I don't care.
So I figure that if you have the YouTube clips to listen to and remember the good times, you can bridge the gap until September.
Yes.
That should definitely hold me over for the summer.
Now you're not going. So you're not going to be around. But here's what you got to do: is at some point you need to give us a call back and tell us what you think of the YouTube channel. Maybe click the little thumbs up, to like some of the videos that are out there too, because we don't get any thumbs up. We don't get any thumbs down, which is good. But we don't get any thumbs up either. And people liking the videos would probably be helpful.
I will. I'll definitely give you a thumbs up.
He's flustered now.
Where's he going tonight?
I don't know. What are you doing tonight?
I'm actually going to watch the Mayweather and Pacquiao fight.
Oh!
We just talked about
What time does that start?
9 o'clock.
Oh, so we're holding you up with all this jibber-jabber.
No, I got time to talk to my favorite radio guys.
Nice.
Now, where are you going to watch this?
I'm actually going to a buddy's house. Me and a good amount of us, we all threw down so we could order the pay-per-view for pretty cheap.
Yep.
That's good.
Nice.
That's good. That's a good deal. That's the way to do it. Has he got
pretty
a...
satisfied. It worked out way easier than I thought it was going to.
kind of TV does he have?
It's what's the word? Two Fank G, and it's pretty big.
Two what?
Is that the name? Is that the brand name?
Yeah. TUFANKJIAN.
That's weird. Oh, that's weird. Tefangtion. That's
Tefangtion.
I didn't even know they made TVs.
If that's how you pronounce it, yeah, sure.
I'm getting a weird phone call here. I think it's the pizza. Hello?
Oh, my.
Hey.
This could be an important phone call.
Yeah, we did.
Oh, he's ordering pizza again.
What kind of pizza did you get?
Well, we didn't actually. We ordered subs. But sometimes they have difficulty finding us. Yeah, he's having to give directions as to where we are.
Yep.
There's one delivery guy that comes from there that knows exactly where we are, and if we don't get him, we always have difficulties.
Yeah, sure is. Yeah.
Okay, he's fine. Send Ray.
Oh, yes.
Sorry, guys. I don't really know why that was an issue.
What, they had difficulty finding us?
Yeah, I don't know what's going on.
So
Hey,
it's not Ray then?
no, it's apparently not.
Oh.
I don't know why that's happening. I don't know why I left the amount of tip that I did. for
And
that.
it's not Ray.
No.
No.
Hey, Greg, we'll let you go so you can get on with your fight.
All right, boys. You have a great night.
You too, and
Thank
call
you,
us on
sir.
the YouTube channel.
Yes.
I will.
right.
I'll be talking to you.
Yeah.
All right, take care.
Take it easy. Greg
Bye-bye.
Black away.
We're going to get into the classic rock so that we can handle this pizza situation, find out what's going on. Got a twofer of the Rolling Stones to kick it off next, BIM.
Whether you're spending a night in town or just a night in, we've got you covered. It's All Request Classic Rock on Bridgewater's Saturday night soundtrack with Rob Hicks at 91.5 WBIM.
Humble Pie, 91.5 WBIM Bridgewater Saturday night soundtrack. 30 days in the hole. That does not sound pleasant.
No.
Doesn't sound pleasant. For that, we heard the Greg Kinn Band kicked the block off with a twofer of the Rolling Stones, and heard Dio in there, too, for Gregory Black, who basically was like, you guys are great, love you guys, F you guys, though, because there's a boxing match on tonight that I'd rather watch than listen to you. I was...
At least it's an excuse.
It is an excuse. I also realized, in thinking back on the conversation, that I was a little confrontational with him again. I don't understand what's wrong with me.
No, you weren't
Like,
too bad.
I basically just, berate him about not having Facebook and not having Twitter.
He's 19.
Basically told him that he's a letdown to his generation, and probably could have handled that situation better. But he is going to be listening to us on YouTube now that he knows that he's out there.
Exactly. He'd be listening to himself on YouTube.
Oh, that's fantastic. It's great. It was the best reaction ever. Hey, do you know that you're out there on YouTube, What do you mean? a little concerning. 7:35, we're doing Classic Rock until 11 o'clock, so call us up, 508-531.
There's got to be people out there that aren't watching a boxing match.
Yes, 508-531-1303.
Well, if you are, we could be the soundtrack to it.
We could, because you don't need, what do you need to hear?
No. Grunts and punch sounds.
Right, you see what's happening. You can listen. If anything, I think it would be almost like one of those surreal experiences. Like,
It would be.
You're sitting there, sort of like syncing up Dark Side of the Moon with the Wizard of Oz. You can sync up Saturday Night Soundtrack with the Mayweather-Pacquiao fight.
Exactly.
It's the soundtrack to the Mayweather-Pacquiao fight.
Beautiful thing.
See, we can do it with our mouths. And then... Mikey D might do a better job, and he's usually in after 9 o'clock. So you get Mikey D while you can watch two guys beating the crap out of each other. I don't see the problem.
There's a relevance to that.
More than anyone knows. One thing we didn't touch on the last segment when we were or a few segments ago when we were talking about Baltimore was one of the fallouts from the whole Baltimore thing was the fact that the Baltimore Orioles had to play the Chicago White Sox, was it?
Yes, it was.
Yes. Yep. They played the White Sox in Oriole Park in Camden Yards in front of no one. The stadium was closed, complete empty stadium, and they played a major league ball game because they had to play it because it counts and it's part of the season. But because of all the unrest that was going on, the decision was made they were not going to let anyone in because they didn't want anything happening. Regular fans mixing with protesters, or protesters just getting themselves in and then. See, I didn't get
that because if you got tickets to see that game, you got them way ahead of all of this.
I mean, yeah,
are you really going to go there and start protesting?
Well, either that, or they're thinking to themselves like, "Hey, maybe what if there's a chance that somebody manages to get in?" And I mean that says something about your security, I suppose. Mm-hmm. But what if somebody manages to get in and something happens? And they were obviously just erring on the side of caution.
Yeah.
But did you hear any of the play-by-play? Because they were actually still doing play-by-plays.
I didn't actually.
Yeah, they were doing play-by-plays, and they were also doing lack
of audience.
Yeah, like one of the announcers was basically just doing it as though it were golf. Like he was just sitting there and he's like, oh, and he hits one out to the far wall, and looks like that one's going. Oh, that's gone. That's a home run, and he's going to round the base now. That's his fourth in the series. Oh, he just got his 60th home run in his career, and he's just basically doing that the whole time. And people outside the stadium were saying that any little thing that was going on, you could hear.
Yes.
So the guys actually doing the play-by-plays, you could hear them. And anything else that was happening remotely in there, like I heard some audio from there, like you could actually hear the players like hawking up a loogie and stuff. And everyone was just talking about the same thing. Like it was just so surreal to see Camden Yards just completely empty and this major league ball game going on in front of no one.
That's weird.
Bizarro world.
Yeah.
We're not Bizarro world.
Nope.
We're classic rock world.
Exactly.
And to prove it, we just played a song for Greg in that last block. Boom.
On his way to watch the game.
Yeah.
Or the match, or whatever you call it.
Yeah.
Fight.
Well, I don't know, because it's not classic rock related, so I don't care. I'm going to be Jarrod for tonight. I don't know. I don't follow these things. I don't care. I'm just going to, you know what? I don't care about sports. I'm just going to look on my phone. We got some vinyl on deck from Deep Purple, and we also want to say thank you to Campus Pizza, and thank you to Ray for...
they tried to throw a curveball at him.
They did.
As they would at Camden Yards.
And he overcame adversity. And I also want to apologize for actually taking that cell phone call on the air earlier when you were talking to Greg. The reason I had to do that is because my voicemail is, for some reason, I've never been able to properly set up my voicemail on my phone.
Oh.
So if you call me, I got one shot to know that you called me. And if that call goes to voicemail, I'm not getting that voicemail.
Now, you see, I had that problem when I got my new phone. My daughter fixed it for me.
See, I need someone to fix it for me because I consider myself reasonably intelligent, and I could not figure it out.
I couldn't figure it out.
For the absolute life of me. I feel like I get to a point where it should be working, and it's not. I'll get a notice that just says setting up inbox for like an hour.
Oh.
Okay.
No,
is it setting up or is it not setting up?
She fixed it.
Oh, that's good. So maybe when I get the 6 in November, I will either have someone set it up for me, or I'll have them set it up at the place.
Yeah, don't leave the store before
you set it up. Make sure it's ready by the time. I never get important voicemails anyway. If I get a call from a number that I don't know, guess what? I don't care about the call. Don't care about the message. If I get a call from a contact, well, I'm just going to call them back and see what they want.
Exactly.
That's pretty much how I handle it. But because I had a sinking feeling that had something to do with our food. And the availability of it, I figured it was pretty pertinent to take that call.
Well, definitely.
Yeah, and because of that, we have food in front of us. And once again, thank you, Campus Pizza, and thank you, Ray.
Yes.
Yeah. So Deep Purple, the album's called Shades of Deep Purple.
Their first album.
It was a first album, great album, and a couple of things, it's just one of those albums that I think you tend to think about the stuff they did afterwards, and you kind of forget how good this first one was. And I even forgot, you were reading off the tracks to me earlier, and I had forgotten that Hey Joe was on this album, and as soon as I heard that, I said, well, I think I know what we're playing.
Exactly.
Needs to happen. So here's Hey Joe, This is by Deep Purple. It's not the Hendrix version. Don't think it's the Hendrix version because it is not the Hendrix version. Have I made that abundantly clear? Mm-hmm. Not Hendrix. It's Deep Purple for you. You're listening to the Saturday Night Soundtrack, 91.5 WBIM. Phil Collins, 91.5 WBIM, Bridgewater, Saturday Night Soundtrack. One of those songs off one of those albums that I will never forget. I will never forget having as a kid. No Jacket Required. I don't know why. It's just one of those albums that stuck out in my head. It was probably it wasn't one of the first albums that I ever bought as a kid, but it was one of the first ones that I remember really liking all of. And just his face, and I know how you feel. I understand how you feel. Steve's like, I like Genesis until 1971. Yes. And then that was pretty much it.
No, just the fact that you were saying that you remember having the album as a kid, and I actually brought in the first 45 that I ever bought as a kid.
And what is that one?
This is by Freddie and the Dreamers.
Oh.
It's called Come Back When You're Ready, but this is like 1964.
Well, yeah, you got to remember there's a little bit of a gap.
Yes.
You got to remember there's a gap.
There is.
Yeah. 804, Rob Hicks, Steve Rimmer, panicking me every once in a while with just his little movements and grunts maybe every once in a while when he gets up.
Yeah, I'm okay.
Yeah, no, I understand that. But in my head, I'm like, oh, God, I'm responsible. If anything happens, if he has pushed himself too much, I am going to have to call 911, and then I'm going to have to explain where we are. No, we're not across from Pope Hall exactly. We're across from the big building with the dome, where they have graduation. Just come here.
Poor Ray.
Call Campus Pizza, ask Ray where it is, and have him relay the information. I don't have time for this.
He'll tell you.
Yeah. So, like us on Facebook, if you have Facebook, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because some people don't, apparently, but if you do, Saturday Night Soundtrack. And you can follow us on Twitter at SN Soundtrack. As I've mentioned before, we're going to put some goodies out there over the summer. Next week is our last show here. Not ever, but it's going to be our last show till September.
Until September. Is it September or October?
No, it's September.
It is.
Yeah. So last show until September is going to be next week. And over the summer, I plan to post some, like I said, I'll basically just kind of keep you. It's going to be like any other sort of classic rock entity on your feed. We're going to post some relevant articles to music, some relevant articles to pop culture. I want to put a few best ofs out there, like I mentioned before. So we're going to do all of that stuff, and it's going to be fun, and it's going to help bridge the gap because you had to, you got used to the Saturday Night Soundtrack back when we started in November. I know everyone did, because I know everyone loves the show and immediately gravitated towards it. But when we had the winter break, that was tough enough. This is no joke of a break.
This is the first break for me.
May to September.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to do some stuff to sort of kind of fill in the time there, and hopefully it's interesting for you, and you follow us. That's the main thing. You have to like us and follow us. We'll put stuff out like this. Do you want to hear Scott Weiland from Stone Temple Pilots doing a version of Vaseline on stage now with his new band? Here's a hint. No, you don't. But we're going to play it anyway because it's a good cautionary tale about how drugs ruin lives.
Exactly.
Yeah. Have you heard this at all?
No, I haven't.
Oh, okay. Oh, my God. It's already painful, and the music hasn't even started.
New song. We just worked it out today.
Oh, my.
Oh, yeah. So, of course, he's trying to be humorous by saying it's a new song. We just worked it out today. Vaseline is off the Purple album from Stone Temple Pilots, by the way. It's about 20 years old by now. So, takes a little while to kick in, but when it does, oh boy! This is Scott Weiland with his current band, is a band called the Wildabouts, and he gave this concert. I think it was within the past week or so. And if you watch the video of this, his eyes are just blank stares, just like it would be like if I did the show the whole time, just staring like this. Here he is. Right?
Yes. Where did you find this?
Oh,
can we send it back?
No. It's floating around there. It's floating around out there. It's on YouTube. I saw it in some classic rock thing I subscribed to that they were basically saying like this is the worst performance of Vaseline ever, and probably the worst performance by Scott Weiland ever. I mean, obviously the audio is terrible anyway because it's being recorded from the audience somewhere, but I mean, you can tell. What was that?
He sounds worse than Sid Vicious.
Oh my God. Oh God, it's terrible. And obviously Scott Whalen's had issues with heroin during his career, and he kicked it for a while, or at least he obviously said that he kicked it for a while. Supposedly got it
for a while longer.
Yeah, kind of like got it back on track. And they basically came out, and the first thing they did was try to do damage control, and they basically said something to the effect of, Scott may have had a few drinks before going out and doing the show. If you watch, I mean, the audio's bad enough, but if you watch the video, there's no way that he had a couple of drinks and just looks that spaced out and could possibly think that this sounds good. This sounds like probably the worst house band you could ever imagine trying to attempt to possibly sing Stone Temple Pilots. And the fact that it was the original frontman for Stone Temple Pilots actually doing this atrocity.
That's horrible.
Yeah, it's absolutely terrible. The kicker is that people actually clap at the end of this.
Oh, what?
Right? How are people beginning to applaud at the end of that heart? Are you just applauding because he's there? Yeah. Are you applauding because he's not dead? Is that pretty much?
Pretty much.
Is that sort of where the expectations are? It's oh, you're good. At least you're
still breathing.
At least you're conscious and your eyes are open.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Woo! Play more music. I think that's pretty much where it was going. That was awful.
Yes.
It's one of the worst things I've ever heard in my life. Don't do drugs, kids.
No, don't.
That's what it does. I kind of want to hear Vaseline the way it's supposed to be played. So that's what we're going to do right now.
Alrighty.
Yeah. And give us your call for request, 508-531-1303. You're listening to the Saturday Night Soundtrack, 91.5 WBIM. Here are the original Stone Temple Pilots in all their in-tune glory from the Purple album. Meanwhile, I'm still thinking. It's T-Rex for you, 91.5 WBIM Bridgewater. It's a Saturday Night Soundtrack. Rob Hicks here with you, Steve Rimmer across from me, and Mikey D is back at 8:30.
Yes, that's right.
How you guys doing?
Came back a little earlier than what I usually do.
Well, everything's going earlier.
Yeah, you were here earlier.
Yeah. Everything seems...
Just come in, get my work done, and, still got plenty of work. Got plenty of work ahead of me, so
yeah.
I just want to come in for a quick, brief visit and shoot off my mouth.
Did we miss Daylight Savings Part 2 or something like that? I mean, we ordered the food early. Mikey D's been here early.
Something.
I don't know what's happening. What's going on?
I know.
So 508-531-1303 is the number you can call. Get in touch with us, make a request, and all sorts of good stuff. And have you guys heard did you guys see the story about the guy who punched a bear in the face?
Yes, I saw that on Channel 7, I think.
Can't say that I've heard about it until now.
This is hilarious. So I have the clip of the news report, as a matter of fact. This is the news report that came out of the
was he up in Maine?
No, he was in Sacramento, I believe. Sacramento, California. And this is a report from the affiliate channel, actually, out there in Sacramento, talking about the gentleman who, in order to protect his dog, who, by the way, is a tiny teacup chihuahua, which basically makes the story even better.
Because I can use him for fish bait, for Christ's sake.
Punched a bear.
Punched a bear in the mouth. Imagine giving a bear a fat lip. Now, that is one tough dude.
Oh, here he is.
He's an ex-Marine.
Tonight.
Here you go.
A story like one you've probably never heard.
Punched a bear
A foothills man came face-to-face with a bear outside his home. He didn't run. He didn't call Fish and Game. Instead, he wound up and he punched the bear in the face.
Wow. CBS 13's Ian.
I like how the anchor cracks up at that point.
Met up with the man to find out why he did something so crazy.
Carl Moore is not a guy who scares easily.
The man or beast that I run from ain't been born. And his mama's already dead.
He's 73.
And his what?
His mama's already
one
dead.
heck of a character. And it turns out he's also one heck of a bear fighter.
I ain't running from nothing. I never have in my whole life, and I ain't going to start now. And you're not going to sacrifice my babies for some damn bear.
You're not going to sacrifice my babies for some damn bear. And as he's telling the story and saying
holding
this, he's holding the little chihuahua in his arms. It's hilarious. Yeah. And he's like...
Hold him in his eyes. Is he breastfeeding or what?
He's got the same build as Steve, kind of. He's like...
Oh, yeah.
I don't know how tall he is because it's tough to tell on TV, but you can tell he's just like... He's thin, but he's wiry. You know what I mean? Like, and he's just, and again, 73 years old.
Week, Lacey, the dog he loves like a daughter, started whimpering outside. Carl ran out, and there it was. A bear who had no idea what
this description is hilarious.
Into Carl's world.
And I raised both hands in the air, and I cussed at him. Yeah, get out of here, you yeah. Yeah. He looked at me like, go F yourself.
And what described as insane. Carl landed a whirling haymaker, punching the bear right in the face.
A whirling haymaker.
Barehanded, if you will.
He come up like this, and he turned, boom! I hit him hard. Tyler said I damn near corkscrewed his head.
He's an ex-first recon Marine.
Recon, there you go.
Yeah. He's been in barroom brawls and all kind of stuff.
The bear's long gone and likely in no rush for another foothill fistfight with the new reigning champ. But if he does return, you know Carl will
very
be
apropos considering the sports tonight.
Now listen to the anchor at the end here because he's kind of a Richard at the very end of this report. Yeah, listen to this.
This guy's a jerk, but he ain't been back since
here's
he
Carl.
got smacked by Carl.
Love that guy.
Ex-Marine has been in a bar brawl. Go figure.
Like that's kind of a Richard thing to say. You know what I mean? Like, oh, he's in a Marine and he was in a bar brawl. That effing figures.
Yeah. What else is new? You know, is he trying to say?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, but at the same time, so I'm watching this. I was watching this report and I was thinking about it, and something struck me as sort of uncanny, kind of odd. Did it strike you guys at all? Something that sounded a little bit familiar, maybe. Let me play a couple of cuts back and see if you can see the maybe a similarity.
The man or beast that I run from ain't been born, and its mama's already dead.
Better get the shovels out because we'll blow you into the ground.
I don't know. It's just something. I can't put my finger on it.
Oh, jeez, that figures.
I never have in my.
I gotta hear that again. Sounds familiar.
Start now.
As far as I'm concerned, that little puke, I'll put him over my knees, pull down his pants, and give him an old-fashioned spanking because I cannot stand him.
I bet you I know who I was talking about then.
I know who you were talking about.
Sacrifice my babies for some damn bear.
Yeah, with a friggin' grenade launcher.
It's just.
I raised both hands in the air, and I cussed at him. Yeah, get out of here, yeah.
Go stuff him head first in a barrel.
I feel like we maybe have some sort of a separated at birth thing going on here.
He looked at me like,
know what it is.
F yourself.
That speakerphone from the radio is implanted into his ear.
I don't know what to say.
I'm trying to think.
I hit him hard.
Oh, you know who that is?
Tyler said I damn near corkscrewed his head.
I'll do some breaking. Hey, you know that remind you? No, I think that voice is.
Yeah.
When I first started here 14 years ago, right?
Yeah.
And you were the first person I met up here.
Sure.
That voice. Yeah, I'll do some breaking. I know who it is.
Who's that?
It's that chick that used to be your intern, Kelly.
Oh, yeah. You know what?
That's her?
I think that's what it is.
I think she had a cold, a little scratchy voice, it sounds like.
I got one more clip here. Let's see if we can figure out if that's her.
This guy's a jerk, but he ain't been back since he got smacked by Carl.
A sandwich you don't need a bread for. A knuckle sandwich. You tell him, Hicks.
Yeah, I think that's her.
Yeah.
Yeah, you tell him, Hicks. Oh, you dug this stuff up. Is that on YouTube?
Everything's on YouTube, sir.
Oh, man, I can't wait to play it later.
So here's what we did, right? We had Greg on the phone. We informed him that we do the on-air clips all on YouTube.
Yeah, prior to this, he was telling us how he doesn't have Facebook.
In the past, that I mentioned a few things about him. I think I have.
Yes, I'm sure we all have. And he basically was saying, yes, prior to this, he was like, I don't have Facebook and I don't have Twitter because we're trying to get him to follow us, like us, whatever the case is.
So listen up, you lunkhead, if you're listening. But get on YouTube. I mean, you got it right there in front of you. Just inches away from your beak.
Let me hit the... inches away from your beak.
Go F yourself.
Yeah.
Was that Greg telling me off?
Getting a vibe somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, get out of here,
so we informed him that all this stuff is on YouTube, and his reaction was what do you mean? And it was a little concerning at first because I thought he was basically going to be like, you got to take that down. And then he was like, that is really interesting. I'm going to have to check that out. Yep. So I'll tell you what we told Greg. All you have to do is go to YouTube, type in Saturday Night Soundtrack. You have to filter for channels. Like, you have to select that you want channels and not just...
What do you mean channels?
So there are videos and there are channels.
Oh, channels. Okay.
Yeah. The reason I say this is because you're going to get a poop load of videos about Saturday Night Fever and the soundtrack to Saturday Night Fever.
You mean that mid-70s John Travolta crap?
That would be correct.
Yeah.
You don't want that.
No.
You want our
We
channel.
want to be corrected.
Correct. So so what you want to do is just type in Saturday Night Soundtrack, look for channels, and there you go. We're actually once you filter for channels, we're right at the top where we belong.
Exactly.
You know? Now, this Greg guy, he's not a student, is he? Or is he?
I don't think we've ever confirmed, and I don't think I actually...
Does he live on campus or does he live off campus? Or if he's not a student, I'm just curious. But either way, he listens, he calls,
he does.
He makes requests. You got to dig the cat.
He's 19, so
he's 19.
There's a pretty good chance that he probably is a student. I've never asked because I don't want to know if he's affiliated with the station in any way. Because if he's 19, it makes me feel a little better. Because originally my thought was he used to go here, was an alumnus, but had been at the radio station, and that's the only reason he listens to the station was because he was here.
He's keeping it still, isn't he?
But he does, yeah, absolutely. Wow. And the only reason he's not listening tonight for the longer period that he normally listens is because apparently he had better things to do, like watch the Mayweather-Pacquiao fight.
Yeah, but that ain't on until when? Later on. It ain't on now.
Thank you.
No, it starts at 9.
That's my point.
Yeah, what time's it now?
It's 8:39.
Yeah, but it will be aired at 9 o'clock on the channels or whatever it's on.
Correct.
The fight probably won't start till about an hour and a half later.
Correct.
So you got to be kidding me. The fight starts then and he's not listening? You know what Mikey D has to say about that, don't you?
Go F yourself.
Yeah, damn right. And what else? What else? There's got to be another follow-up.
There's got to be something in here somewhere.
Yeah, get out of here,
I like how drunk he sounds there. I don't know if he
That's
is
probably
or
that
not.
barroom fight he was.
But he...
No, this bear blaster here. What's his name?
Oh, geez, I'm going to forget his last name.
You sure?
It's Carl something,
You
yeah.
better check again. I think it's Greg.
Yeah. Oh, it's great.
Oh, man. So no kidding.
Yeah.
So I got to make sure before I leave, just so I can remember it. Saturday Night Soundtrack.
Correct.
Channels, WBIM, Hicksville. All right, I'll get that on soon. Yeah.
Oh,
he's showing me the dashboard there.
Yeah. So what we have is we have the, because it's YouTube, so it's video technically, but there's no video for radio. So what I do is I just put up the picture of the control board, and at the top of each one it says Saturday Night Soundtrack, and at the bottom it says the season, the episode number, and the date.
Oh, I'm hit, man. I can't wait.
Very easy to find. Very well organized, courtesy of myself.
Nothing from the other the other individual.
We're
Nate?
not. Nate. I thought you meant Jarrod.
Yeah, me too.
Oh, yeah, no.
I was going to say
we got him right here.
I was going to say Jarrod is going to be completely incommunicado tonight. Nothing from Nate. He has fallen off the face of the earth. I think it's like an interstellar deal where he has just gone through a wormhole, and he's in another galaxy at this point. So I think we can write that off.
Maybe he's listening to another collegiate channel somewhere where we don't come in, like out in the Midwestern part of the state.
Well, that sounds like a ridiculous...
But wait a minute, no excuses though. He's got the internet.
Correct. We can be heard all over the world. We can be heard in England.
So what did I say about him? If he's not listening, I'm going to implant that studio headphone in his ear or something like that. Whatever. Yeah, whatever. Radio Gaga or whatever by Queen.
Radio Gaga.
Go F yourself.
Yeah. We got some vinyl coming up.
I know.
Our second selection from Blue Oyster Cult live.
And, of course, do I let the universe know what's going to be played?
Yes.
Okay, it's their cover of a classic song, one of the all-time greats. Many covers. Born to be Wild, originated by Steppenwolf.
There you go. And the beginning of this song actually has the title of the album in it.
Yeah.
The introduction here.
The introduction, which it's one of the last songs on the album. It should have started off as the first, but, whatever. All right, WBIM, correct? Hopefully the crew from Johnny Macaroni's and the rest of the staff are listening. Call up now. 508-531-1303.
Or on your knees.
There you go.
We'll see you in a little bit.
91.5 WBIM. Soundgarden 91.5 WBIM Bridgewater. Saturday Night Soundtrack. Rob Hicks here with you, Steve Rimmer. It is 9:04, and if you don't get your fill of grunge from that, maybe you'll get it from Montage of Heck, which is, I believe that's going to be on HBO this week, I think. I can't remember what the exact
Are you talking of HBO? What's that new thing they're doing?
The HBO Now, you mean the app?
Is it worth it?
I see. And this was the thing, I think I mentioned this a couple of weeks ago, where I was debating if but it's not going to do somebody like me any good because I already have HBO.
Okay.
If you don't, I think the whole deal is, but the thing is, I don't know how much it costs when it kicks in. So
$15 a month.
So it's $15 a month, okay? And the whole idea is that you should be able to get, like, you can basically watch HBO just with the app. Now, the question becomes, can you actually watch live HBO, or can you only watch the on-demand things that they give you? You know what I'm saying? Like, there are some apps where actually, and I just recently discovered this and was kind of like stupidly excited about this because I don't know when I would ever really need this, but TNT and TBS both have apps, and you can actually watch live TNT in addition to like on-demand shows and things, which I actually thought was kind of cool.
Yep.
Because I was wondering if HBO was going to do the same thing with the HBO Now app. So the whole idea being that if you don't have HBO and you don't want to pay to get the package through your cable provider because it's going to be too much on your cable bill, you can get this app. But then the question does become, okay, can I watch streaming video on it? Like, can I just watch it, like turn on HBO East or whatever, you know, your local HBO is, and see it? Or do you just get on demand, which is basically at their discretion?
Yeah.
And HBO's on demand is woefully limited compared to other, and I'm not even talking about just cable. I'm talking when you get the, because I actually I went out and got along with the TNT stuff, I went out and got apps for all the, now that I have the fully loaded entertainment pack from Fios.
Okay.
I went out and got apps for all the movie channels that I didn't have before. So Showtime has an app, Epix has an app, Starz has an app, and Cinemax. You would not believe the amount of movies that are available on Cinemax On Demand through the app. It's insane. I was like scrolling, and I was only at like the letter B or C when I alphabetized.
Oh, wow.
It's incredible the stuff they have. And if you do the same thing with the HBO app, because HBO, if you have HBO through your cable already, you can get the free HBO Go app, and what that has is just on demand. It doesn't have any live streaming of whatever's on currently. But there again, the on demand on HBO Go is much fuller than the on demand that HBO has on cable, but it's not as full as the on demand that you can get from the other movie channel apps. It's weird. It's like HBO, no matter what, lags behind in their on demand stuff from the other channels, whether it be through an app or through the actual cable. So is it worth it? It's like how, in my opinion, I would say no. The reason I would say no is because you could probably you could negotiate to get HBO for like $10 through any cable provider that you currently have, not have to get anything. Because HBO is a premium movie channel, which is an add-on. So you can add, it's not like you would have to get a whole new package.
No, you
your
just
cable.
add it on. Yeah.
You just add on that channel, and any decent cable company is probably going to give you a discount on it. Case in point is that Verizon Fios has HBO. Their normal price, I believe, is $19.99 for each month. You subscribe to HBO if you didn't have it before, or if you cancel HBO and then decide you might want it back, they'll give it back to you for $10.
Yeah.
And the same thing is, I believe if you go into HBO for the first time through Fios, and I'm pretty sure Xfinity is going to be the same, or whatever other provider you have, they're probably going to give it to you for about $10-15 anyway. So, and then you can just get the app for free, and then you always have the app. So I don't know what else now HBO Now has that the other stuff doesn't, but I guess it's good for people like, suppose you don't have cable. Maybe you're just, maybe you're Greg Black and you're a hermit, and you shun.
Yeah, whose house did he go to watch the?
I don't know. You shun technology at every turn, and then you basically say, "Oh, I kind of want some HBO though." So I think that's the option, but I honestly don't see what value it's adding for people unless there's something about it that I don't know. But that's my opinion on it. As far as Montage of Heck, which is supposed to be out this week, is that something that you would actually watch or no?
No.
Okay. Are you not interested enough in Kurt Cobain and his diaries and his music? And okay.
No.
Did you actually like his music at all?
No.
The truth comes out. It's great.
I still remember where I was the first time I heard Nevermind, but other than that, no.
I remember you saying that, and from that I gleaned that you actually liked it, but apparently not. Apparently I misinterpreted
It Smells Like
that.
Teen Spirit. I love that song.
Yeah.
And that was about as far as I got.
That does it for you?
That was it.
Well, at least that's one song.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
508-531-1303. We will play Nirvana for you if you want. If
I don't
Steve,
mind.
I mean, Steve doesn't like it, but I play a lot of stuff that Steve doesn't like.
It's okay.
We play stuff that Jarrod doesn't like too. We play stuff that everyone at some point doesn't like.
We should be playing a lot more stuff this week that Jarrod doesn't like. Although
should.
it's more fun to play it when he's here.
We should. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, if I play, if I bust out some Def Leppard this week, it's not going to have the same poetic, satisfying feeling as when I play it when he's here.
Why do we hear that through the phones and we don't hear it when we take them off?
Absolutely have no idea. That's interesting, though.
Oh, no, I can hear it.
Oh, you can hear? Okay.
Yeah,
It must just be kicking. So apparently they have another... now, Mikey D actually calls them metal detector dances. I don't know if that's actually what they're called. Like, because to me, that sounds like horrible marketing if that is what they're called.
Yes.
Hey, come join us for the metal detector dance tonight. Like, that just doesn't sound like a great idea. Enchantment Under the Sea, great name for a dance.
Metal detector
dance, not so much.
No.
Not so much.
Now, this does mean there's outside interest, though, yeah?
That was, that's how I took it, too. So does that mean we're going to have to walk out in a swarm of cops again tonight?
Yeah, probably.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Well, we could
do this one,
We
yes.
can just go down this way.
Although it's more fun.
I feel like I'm being chased by the paparazzi.
Yes.
I feel like Mikey D is going to be like a kid on Christmas now that we've introduced him to the YouTube channel that we have out there.
He may spread the word, though.
I'm hoping he does because that's the whole point of all this friggin' work that we do.
Exactly.
Saturday Night Soundtrack is on YouTube. If for whatever reason you don't want to like us on Facebook, if for whatever reason you don't have a Twitter, all you have to do is go to YouTube, search for Saturday Night Soundtrack, filter for channels, that part's important, and we are the first channel called Saturday Night Soundtrack that will show up in YouTube, and you'll be able to see all the videos. We basically, it's not actual video, but it's all the on-air highlights from our shows with a little view of our soundboard, and it shows you the name of the show, and it shows you the episode number, and shows you the date of the episode.
Very cool.
Very well organized, very cool, and you can see every show from this semester loaded up there. I think part of what I'm going to do over the summer is load up the shows from November, December of last year.
That'd be interesting.
Because we didn't have, I put one up. Like, I just picked, like, the best show from, or what was, in my opinion, the best show from last year. Before we start, it's sort of like a test for the channel, but when we were going to get launched for this semester. I think that might still, I don't remember if that's still up there or not. I might have taken it down. So I may put that stuff back up. So point being, there's going to be past episodes up there. We're going to do some best ofs over the summer so that you can hear, like I said, best of Mikey D, best of Steve, best of Jarrod.
There you go.
And it's all going to be there for you. So you won't be alone over the summertime. So you'll be in good hands with the YouTube channel and Saturday Night Soundtrack. So Mikey D did call briefly during that last Classic Rock block and asked me how exactly to find it. He sounded a little panicked. He was basically like, I'm typing it in and I'm not seeing it. What am I looking for? Show me how to find it. And then I was like, well, are you typing in? And he was like, what if I put in BIM? And I was like, sadly, actually, no, that's not going to work. So he tried something else and then it worked. He's like, I got it. I got it. I got to go. I had to tell my son about this. And then he left. And he was like, okay, love you guys. Bye. I'll call you back soon. So we'll probably hear from him again before the end of the night.
Oh, I think so.
But I'm hoping that he's excited about this and he gets to hear himself. Because that's really what we're all about, is listening to ourselves. Yeah. Got some vinyl coming up.
Oh, yeah.
So this is the group called Family, right?
Family, yes.
Anybody... I was going to be like, anybody important in this group? But you know what I'm saying. Anybody of note.
There was 5 different versions of the band, and people like John Wetton went through it. What's the other guy's name? Mickey D. Rick Greach.
Okay, yeah.
He was in it briefly, went on to form Traffic after that.
Yep.
John Weeder went on to join Stud. And Tony Ashton was on it. So there's a few people that kind of went through the group.
This song sounded funkalicious when I was just listening to a little bit of it, queuing it up.
Burlesque.
Here it is, 91.5 WBIM Bridgewater. You're listening to the Saturday Night Soundtrack. Give us a call for requests. We're doing all request classic rock until 11 o'clock. 508-531-1303. Guns N' Roses 91.5 WBIM Bridgewater. Saturday night soundtrack off the Appetite for Destruction album, of course. Rob Hicks here with you. Steve Rimmer 936. And, well, there's Slash doing some guitar work. And Slash was with Scott Weiland when they did Velvet Revolver. And, well, Slash is still doing pretty good.
Yes.
Can't say the same for Scott Weiland from what we heard earlier and what we posted. If you follow us...
That was because his earbuds weren't working.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's right. I forgot about that. Yeah.
He's got new ones now.
Yeah, absolutely. That's why my singing sounds so terrible when my earbuds aren't working. That's pretty much what it is. It's the same situation. If you follow us on Twitter, which everyone should do, at SN Soundtrack, you can see a video of the audio that we broadcast earlier of Scott Weiland butchering Vaseline at a recent concert with his band, The Wildabouts.
He does a great job butchering it, too.
Oh, my God. It's terrible to watch. So you can see that you can see terrible things if you follow us on Twitter.
Exactly.
You know you want to see the train wreck that is old stars that are just on drugs. You know you want that. I want to know what's going on in the hall.
They're whooping it up.
Oh, they're whooping it up, yeah.
There was 3 of them down there when I came in here.
There's a metal detector dance going on here in the campus center, in case anybody doesn't know.
Detector.
We're just a public service announcement here.
How do metal detectors dance?
Very stiffly.
I don't think so.
And WBIM, by the way, speaking of events that are on campus and, well, not involving this, but involving WBIM in general, we are now, or maybe we were in the past, but we are recently an award-winning station, if you didn't know. WBIM was just recently awarded the Impact Award for Organization of the Year.
Nice.
2014-2015 year. So congratulations to WBIM, and, congratulations to us, because, here on the Saturday Night Soundtrack, we were a big part of making that happen.
Yes. We are the organized ones.
That's how it happens. That's how it happened. But seriously, good job, too. When I was here in college, we didn't, and I believe that, actually, now that I'm looking, I think the plaque, Steve, is actually right behind you. I just noticed that it's up there in the window.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep, Organization of the Year,
yep.
Impact Award.
Yep.
When I was here 14 years ago, WBIM was hardly mentioned around campus at all. It was almost like the black sheep of the school for some reason. I don't know why. It didn't really get a lot of attention. It didn't really get a lot of support. The people who were a part of it and behind it were avidly a part of it and behind it. And the people who weren't just didn't give it a second thought. And it wasn't really considered to be... It was almost like a glorified club. It really wasn't, even though it is an organization, I don't think it was really treated or respected as such. And I feel like a lot has changed over the course of the years, that they've really stepped up their game and made WBIM sort of very visible on campus, and definitely something that is seen and known about and envied by apparently other organizations that are not Organization of the Year. So good on us, or good on them, or however we want to look at it. But it was definitely a good job, and we've come a long way within the past several years. And you wouldn't necessarily sometimes know it to look around at some of the.
No, you said it looks very similar to
some of the fixtures, but it's just basically the build, like the rooms itself. Like, I mean, you don't necessarily. Would it be nice to get another desk out there that wasn't just like an old plywood-looking desk? Probably yes. Is it necessary? No. The stuff that's necessary is the stuff that Peter Q. George does and keeps us going with. Like the new, this board is new. What is happening? What was that? Oh, God. The board in here is new. The board that's in the production room is the one that used to be in here. And, he's done a great job keeping up with the equipment. Things break, he fixes it. I noticed, I realized that there was an issue with something just probably a couple of months ago. There was a cord, there was a channel in here that was only coming in on one speaker. And within a couple of weeks, it was fixed. And, you know what I mean? That's the kind of thing that Peter George stays on top of. And that's the sort of stuff that we need that sort of keeps WBIM going. So, congratulations to us. It is more rowdy out there than I think it has been.
It is, but when you look out there, I just see 2 girls sitting at a table. So I don't know where the rowdiness is coming from.
They issued a decree. They were like, hey, listen, whatever happens, just sit there and look like nothing's going on. Like if there's, if there's tear gas, if there's some sort of chaotic episode, you just sit there and allow no re-entry from the hallway for whatever reason. I don't understand why that's happening. So 508-531-1303. You can give us a call. You can request a song. If you're not watching the Mayweather-Pacquiao fight, that is. It's a boxing match. It's probably already done.
Yeah, probably.
Didn't it start at 9 o'clock?
Well, it started at 9 o'clock, but like Mickey D was saying, the actual fight probably doesn't start until 10:30.
Yeah, I think that's a bit of a story. Fight probably started at 9:30. Yeah, it's still probably over by now. Yeah. It's a fight. But that's the other thing. We were talking off the air about how, I mention it because it's a, a public event and something that's worth mentioning. I really don't care about boxing. I could give two poops. But as far as when I think about sports and I think about the money that it costs to go to a sporting event, you've got, depending on where the event is, if you end up being able to get tickets in the first place, however much you pay for the tickets, however much you pay for parking, you pay for food, you pay for, all the usual things that you pay for when you go to an event, and you go to a boxing match that could last an hour, or 5 minutes. Or 5 minutes, or 2 minutes.
Exactly.
And I would be so pissed if I went to a boxing match and it lasted like a minute and a half and was over.
Exactly.
I don't, you know what I mean? I want a sport that's guaranteed. That's why I'm as much crap as I give Jarrod. I'm not a huge sports guy either, but I like football a lot, so I will watch a lot more football than probably anything else. And
football is good for both sides of the coin. You know it's going to last a certain length of time, but it isn't going to go on past 2 a.m. in the morning.
Yes, exactly. And it's interesting while it's going on. Like, I can't get behind... I will watch baseball if it's on somewhere. Like, if I'm sitting there eating, if we go out someplace and I'm sitting there eating dinner and baseball's on TV, I'm probably going to sit there and watch it because it's there. I'm not going to seek it out.
No.
Football, depending on the game and depending on the team, I'm going to seek it out and probably, go a little bit out of my way to watch the game. And same situation. I'm interested in it. I know how long it's going to be. No, it's not going to be too long. And while it's going on, it's interesting. Baseball is like, it's probably going to go on 3 hours. It could go on 5. And it could be boring as hell for like 3.5 hours of that 5, So I can't get behind that.
So that's why I like Formula One racing, because you know exactly how long that race is going to go on for.
Yes, that as well.
And it's over.
So there you go.
I watch the qualifying and I watch the practice, which are 2 days before the actual race. So I do watch the extras too.
Well, there you go.
And I have to get up at 5 a.m. in the morning to do that. And I do that.
And you do.
Oh, yes.
And it happens.
Yes.
But, I mean, at least, when the race does go on, like you said, you know how long you can plan. I like to be able to plan. I want to be able to map out my day and my evening and know how long things take.
Yeah.
Because this might be surprising to you, Steve, but I'm a little OCD about stuff sometimes.
Never.
I don't know if that... I don't know if you ever got that impression. But, is the other question I got to ask you. Is this new to you? Like, did you sense this when I was at Target, or did that side of me not come out until...
It didn't come out fully until I experienced this experience, but I did sense it. Yeah. I did. Yeah.
Maybe when I was doing some zoning, perhaps it was a little bit meticulous.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, that's easy to spot because not many people are.
When Rob says zoning, he means nobody gives a crap.
I know. I still call it zoning. Even the company I work for now, they don't call it zoning, but I do.
Yeah. I remember the first thing you ever said to me at Target.
Really?
And I didn't understand it, and I was like, I am gonna have a rough time because this guy, first of all, he has an accent, and I probably didn't hear him right, and I didn't know. So I was with Dan Cullen, and like the shift had ended. I had finished doing my, how they do the cashier training.
Yes.
Like the first day, I had finished with that. I was going to be a Hardlines member, so when I say Hardlines, I mean, so basically I was not going to be a cashier unless you guys needed cashiers. I was going to be on the floor doing stuff, putting stuff away, straightening stuff out, helping guests, all, the whole shebang. So I finished with my training, the store closed, and for those of you who have never worked retail, you are lucky bastards.
Very lucky.
And if you have worked retail, then you know that after the store closes, there's a certain period of time where you kind of go around, straighten stuff up. Depending on the store, it may be more elaborate, it may be less, don't know. But there's always a little bit of it, I think, in every retail store. So Target closed. I met up with Dan, who I forget why. I think just because he was the only guy in Hardlines at the time. And we went over to you to see where you wanted us to work. And you said, how about you go play around in HBA for a while? And I just blank stare. I was like,
what?
And I'm like looking at Dan out of the corner of my eye, like, did you just understand what he said? And like Dan just took off in the direction that you wanted us to go in, and I was like, cool.
Just follow him.
I guess I'll figure out what that. And I was like, Does that mean that HBA is like the first letters of each? I was close. I was like, is it the first letters of each section he wants us to go to? And then we just went to one section. And then you told us to, and it was October, so you told us to forget that and just go over to the seasonal section.
Okay.
And straighten that up, which was Halloween costumes at the time, so that was fun. So now I'm watching Dan, like, do stuff, and I'm like, he's, like, hanging something up. And I was like, that doesn't have a hanger on it. He's like, it's fine. It's like, okay. I was like, how do you know that one goes there? Don't worry about it. It's just not on the floor.
Exactly.
Okay. This job's either going to be really great or I have no idea what I'm going to do. What's going to happen? And that was my first evening at Target. Thank you. Thank you, Steve. God. That was my first experience at Target. Yeah, that was great. Yeah. Like you said, love the people, don't miss the place.
Exactly.
That sums it up for me.
Yep.
Another big block of classic rock coming up. Give us a call, 508-531-1303. Going to kick it off with a song from a guy who is going on tour, he says, for the last time with his old band, and they got a new album coming out. Both things happening next year.
If your bed is in a small town and that's good enough for you, you're one of the only listeners who can hear us on an actual radio. Congratulations. Bridgewater's Saturday Night Soundtrack with Rob Hicks on 91.5 WBIM.
It's Leonard Skinner, 91.5 WBIM Bridgewater. Saturday Night Soundtrack. Give me 3 steps. Rob Hicks, Steve Rimmer, 10:05.
Already?
Oh, yeah. Night flies by.
Flies.
Just flies. That must mean that it's probably that time again for me to go off on a rant and offend some people.
Sure.
So let's do it. Nicer weather is upon us.
Yes.
It's going to be in the, 70s, 80s next week or something like that?
I think 82 on Monday.
Okay. So with the nicer weather and spring and summer is officially about, like a month and a half away, and Memorial Day is less than a month away. That means that it's going to be the season for motorcycles.
Oh, yes.
People are going to be out there on their motorcycles. And you
I've
know what
seen
that
a few
means?
already.
That means that I'm going to have to see more and more of these signs and bumper stickers that tell me to look twice for motorcycles because they're everywhere. Hey, guess what? I see a lot of people on motorcycles driving like effing morons.
Yes.
Just because you're on and the problem is that you're on a motorcycle, you're driving like an absolute moron. You're weaving in and out of stuff. You're scaring the crap out of me because you come like barreling up. Thank you. I couldn't think of a good verb. Barreling past me, and it's loud because they rev up, and I'm supposed to not be frightened by that, swerve, hit you, whatever. I'm just supposed to keep going in my lane like a normal person while you weave in and out like an idiot.
Yes.
So here's the thing. I will, and I saw a sign the other day that it just set me off on this path again. It basically said something like, check twice for motorcycles, share the road. Share the road. As though I'm being hoggish with the road.
Driving down the road.
Because I'm driving an actual sized vehicle on the road, and some jabroni with a motorcycle is going to go weaving in and out of everything, almost killing people.
Yeah.
F you. You share the road with me, because guess what? You're on the smaller vehicle, and you are the one who also needs to be careful. Because if I end up hitting you, there's this irrational, I don't know what it is. It's like an irrational bias against people in regular sized vehicles as opposed to people on motorcycles. Oh my God.
I think somebody just got murdered down the hallway.
Maybe they saw a motorcycle. Maybe they almost got run over by a motorcycle. This happened to my wife about a week or two ago, where she was driving and there was a motorcycle that just barreled right by her on the side. And like she said, she's like, I got startled and I jumped a little bit.
Yep.
She's like, now if I had jumped enough, I could have swerved and I could have ended up hitting him on my side because he's driving like an imbecile.
Yes.
So I will share the road with you motorcycles if you don't drive like morons. Because if you drive like morons, you deserve what you get. Oh my God. Is there a riot? Is there a fight going on out there?
I can't see anything when you actually look down. I just see the two girls sitting at the table.
That's really disappointing. Yeah. I was hoping it was going to be like the time that I actually witnessed an actual girl fight in the mall.
Oh, really?
Like in the hallway outside of Target.
Ooh.
Like between... it was basically like between Target and that like guest...
The information desk
that's set up. There was just like, there was hair pulling and one girl like knocked another girl on the ground. Like she punched her in the side and then the other one got up and like, it was chaos.
Wow.
And it was very entertaining to watch. I was hoping the same thing was happening down the hall there.
Well, if it is, I can't see it.
Disappointing that it's not.
Yeah.
At any rate, so that's my thing, is just don't drive like an idiot on your motorcycle during the summer, because I don't want to have to deal with it.
It's the good motorcycle drivers wouldn't be driving like an idiot.
Right, exactly. And I will look out for them, because you're right. We all need to share the road, but we all need to not drive like a-holes, is basically what it comes down to. And like I was saying, there's a bias against, if somebody in a regular-sized vehicle ends up hitting a motorcycle, it is automatically assumed the person in that regular-sized vehicle was being negligent and paying no attention.
Exactly.
Nobody ever assumes that the motorcyclist was being negligent or a jerk.
Or being stupid.
Right. I feel the same way to a degree of bicyclists. I hate bicyclists who ride in the road. Don't ride in the road. Get a sidewalk.
No, here's the weirdest thing. In England, the same rules that apply to a motor vehicle apply to a bicycle.
Okay.
You're supposed to ride on that same side of the road.
Yeah, yeah.
You're supposed to stop at stoplights, and etc., traffic lights. Not here.
Which is how it should be.
Yeah, exactly.
England is doing it right, because that's how it should be. Because, again, I do not want the hassle in my life of having hit one of you because one of you is just in the way, which is basically what happens. You're always, if you're on a bike and you're in the road, you are always in the way. I'm sorry to tell you this. I don't want to break it to you this way. And they have those new lanes that are, like, they've put up on different roads now. Like, they have one on the way to Colony Place in Plymouth, and I've seen them in various places where it's like a little narrow bike lane. I don't want to see that. That's just encouraging people to drive their bikes in the street.
Why is it on that road leading up to Colony Way where it says that if you approach the light and you put your tyre over the line, it will get the light to change earlier, but they depict a bicycle, not a car?
Interesting. I didn't know. Yeah, no, I don't know. I'll check that out next time, because I feel like I'm at Colony Place pretty much every day, or every other day at the very least. So I will check it out the next time I'm there. I feel like there's just a bias that people just need to get over. Just because you're on a motorcycle, you're not Jesus. You probably just did something stupid.
He probably wouldn't know how to ride a motorcycle.
That's why you got hit. He probably wouldn't.
No.
And he'd probably tell you that motorcycles are bad for some odd reason.
Yes.
So, that's my rant.
All right. That was a good one.
Hopefully I didn't offend too many people. And if I did, that's totally fine.
Girls were screaming about it down the hallway.
All of the people who would potentially be riding motorcycles are probably watching the Mayweather-Pacquiao fight. So
definitely.
I don't think I don't think I'm in much jeopardy here.
No, you'll be okay.
Yeah. 508-531-1303. You can give us a call. You can like us on Facebook, Saturday Night Soundtrack, and you can follow us on Twitter at SN Soundtrack. As we have enlightened a couple of people tonight, if you have ever been a part of our show, if you've called into the show, we've put you on the air, you've sat down with us, and you've jibber-jabbered on the air with us, guess what? You're on YouTube, so you might want to check that out. I remember once that Jarrod was concerned that maybe we should have these people sign waivers if we were going to put them on YouTube. And I was like, I honestly don't think that's not an actual issue.
No.
And he's like, yeah, I think it's a legal thing where you have to. I was like, sir, you need to realize our place in the grand scheme of things.
The extent of things.
And really, there's only, what are there, two people that we have to worry about, Greg Black and Mikey D?
Yes.
Not concerned.
Nope, not at all.
Because Greg Black seemed fine with it after the initial "what do you mean," which was a little concerning.
Yep.
And then Mikey D was just all excited about it. I think he needed to change his pants once we told him that his voice was on YouTube. So hopefully he's checking that out, and he may give us a call before the show is over.
I probably will.
Yeah. So that'll be great. And 10:13, got another block of classic rock coming up, and tough to believe that next week is already our last show.
Yes, I know.
I can't.
The 9th.
No, it's weird. Steve is perusing the wonders of Instagram. He's starting to finally come to realize that Instagram not only exists, but is out there. You know what I mean? And people are using it that we probably don't even realize are using it.
I've never really looked at it before. So
it's not. It's kind of like I was telling you off the air. Like, the only time I ever really notice that people have Instagram or use Instagram is when they post. It's kind of like what we do here on the show. Like, we've got our Facebook for Saturday Night Soundtrack and our Twitter linked up, so things show up in both places. People have their Instagram linked up to their Facebook, and they'll post things, and it'll say via Instagram, and that is the only way I know that any of my friends have Instagram. And I'm not going to go out to Instagram to try to find them or look up what they're doing. I don't really care. No. Instagram's just not my thing.
Yeah, I don't think I'd ever post anything on it.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like I was saying, like, I love Facebook because of the fact that I can post statuses about things. I love music. I love movies. I'm posting trailers all the time. I'll post music videos. I'll post, just links to songs that I've been listening to during the day. Like, that kind of thing I like to do and start conversation that way. Taking pictures and posting them doesn't really do anything for me. I don't know. Maybe I just don't understand it. Maybe I'm just not behind it. Maybe I'm being too Greg Black about this, but I don't really care.
No.
This doesn't affect me. So, another big block of classic rock. Give us a call, 508-531-1303. You're listening to the Saturday Night Soundtrack, 91.5 WBIM.
From ACDC to CC Top, we've got the biggest collection of classic rock in Bridgewater. You're listening to the Saturday Night Soundtrack with Robb Hicks on 91.5 WBIM.
It's 91.5 WBIM Bridgewater. Saturday Night Soundtrack. It's 10:45. Robb Hicks, Steve Rimmer. And just getting ready to wind down our evening.
Soon.
Yeah, so soon. And I went to the bathroom and got back safely. That was good.
I was watching your Batman.
Yeah, I go to leave and I'm like, I'm going to, we got all those festivities going down because there's once again, if you're not aware, there's a metal detector dance going on in the hall.
Still want to work out the dance.
Yeah. And so I tell Steve, I'm like, and they've got this weird table set up outside the girls' room that basically says no re-entry, but it means no re-entry to this side of the hallway. It doesn't make a logical sense. But anyway, so I know I've got to get past that, so I'm about to leave the studio, and I say to Steve, I'm going to attempt to head down there and go to the bathroom. And he says, oh, good, I'll watch you. I'm like, oh, okay.
From here.
From here. Nowhere else. From here. I'm just going to stand here.
You think about it, you've got a sign in front of the ladies' bathroom that says no re-entry. Okay. Yes.
Yeah. So we've given Steve a good night out. This is as you mentioned off the air. This is the most energy you've expended in probably in the past 3 or 4 days. Yeah.
Absolutely.
So that's good. And
it's getting me out on a lot of yard work though. Which is, it's well worth having your hernias done.
Except
no more raking.
Have your hernias done, kids, and you will not have to rake or do yard work.
Exactly.
Yay! That's the goal. That should be the goal.
You can only get away with it once, though.
Yeah, right.
I feel.
Well, I mean,
hope
if something goes wrong with it, you can always. I got to say that this this again is just me being a hypochondriac, but I'm always concerned that maybe I look. How do I put this?
Choose your words carefully, sir.
How do I say this?
You check yourself out?
I check there a lot more now because I feel like I'm constantly comparing and trying to figure out if it's still the way it's supposed to be or if it's getting worse again. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I've read, and here's the problem, is that I'm a hypochondriac, so I read stuff and it gets in my head that this is going to happen. So I read that it's possible for them to come back.
They did say that to me.
Yeah.
1 in a million chances, but there is a chance.
Right. So I'm always looking, and I'm always like, well, if there's a 1 in a million chance, I'm probably the lucky idiot who's going to be the one who. So I probably check a lot more than I used to.
I'm sure I will be.
But I mean, I've been to the doctor since then, obviously a few times, and basically every time he's like, it's fine. Like, he probably thinks I'm a weirdo because I'm like, can you check? Because I just had, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's a weird thing because he doesn't automatically do it.
Oh.
So it's like, I will, because my doctor, like, the doctor that I go to for my physicals really isn't, and what was that? What is going on? The doctor I go to for my physicals is he's kind of quick about the whole thing, which is good in the grand scheme of things because I like that. However, at the same time, it's like I want you to check this one thing and tell me I'm good, and everything's fine. If everything's fine, then good. If it's not, then I want to know about it. Mike's here.
Hello there.
Hello. Have a seat.
Better be quick.
Where is he? He doesn't care about us.
He has a lodge meeting.
No, he didn't show up.
He has a meeting today.
So it's just been you all night?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just been me.
Well, yeah.
Well,
I'm
and
in on
me.
this side.
And me. And
I'm Mickey D.
And this is probably Mikey D too. BIM.
Hey.
Hey.
Hey, Hicks.
Yeah.
What's going on?
Mike's here.
Yeah.
shortly after I left you guys, I got on YouTube, found it. You know, when I called you, gave me the rest of the directions. And complete madness with a little bit of buffoonery. I love it.
Yes, it is. And Mike, if you don't know what Mikey D is talking about, we actually, because we record all the shows here, we put them up on YouTube every week. And basically just gives the opportunity for Mikey D and anybody, and you're on YouTube floating around somewhere.
Oh, yeah.
My friend.
Ballin'.
You are out there.
My girlfriend just yelled at me for coming down here, but I wanted to come say hi, so it's cool. Mikey D, you hear that? I hope you heard that.
I heard.
Yeah, you know her.
Hey, what's she yelling at you for? I helped her out.
I know she did. I know you did. We're good.
Okay.
I just want to run in, come say hi to my boys. Mikey D, you calm down.
I know.
Where are
I'm in
you?
my vehicle right now. Gonna take a quick run to my place. And, of course, I'm picking up the chick, and I don't know where we're going, but we're going somewhere.
How'd you leave already? There's like 600 people at an event, and you just walked out?
Of course.
All right.
If they knew I was leaving, they probably would have followed me and would have cleared out that whole joint within minutes.
Mikey D walks out, and he's like, they can friggin' clean up by themselves. I got things to do.
Yeah, no kidding.
All right, gentlemen. I'm gonna walk away this time, but hope you guys have a good rest of your night.
Oh, I have the keys. You want the keys? All the doors.
I'm not working.
Oh.
I'm working the other event.
Oh.
Just drop them off at the desk.
What's the key? Okay.
What dance is it, by the way?
I don't know.
You want to know. There's metal detectors again. It's got something
Are you guys going to play a song before the night ends or what? I'm curious.
We got some Uncle Salty on deck.
Oh, no kidding. Uncle Salty.
Oh, yeah.
There's some Aerosmith I haven't heard in a long time.
Well, you're going to hear it tonight.
Of course, it's B.I.M.
Yeah.
All right, you mugs, I'll let you go until next week.
See you next week.
I'll think of something that conjure up for the last show of the season, and I don't know what the hell I'm going to bring for music, but you know it's there.
All right. Continue.
All right, bye-bye. You guys are the best.
Continue to enjoy the YouTube, Mike.
Keep up the buffoonery. I love it.
Will do. He just hangs up. That's awesome. So I guess we just give the keys in at the desk.
Yes.
So, good.
So we have to go that way.
Yeah, we do, don't we? Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's fine. I mean, we got through last time, and it wasn't that big a deal. Well, notice how I was all eager to give away the keys, and he's like, I don't want them. I'm like, okay, I'll put them back
I'll
now.
use the facilities on the way out, then.
Remember to use the far.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Or stall.
Yes, because the door's open.
Yes,
exactly.
the door's open. The good thing is it's not propped open this time.
Oh, okay.
But if somebody were to open it, there you are.
There you are.
You know what I mean?
Well, that's a very, very bad design for a men's toilet.
I don't understand why it was done that way. I will continue to never understand why it was done that way, but...
Doesn't make sense.
Once again, this was something that nobody asked my opinion of when they did it. So next week's our last show.
Yes.
And
for a while.
For a while. We are coming back in September. I never actually made an official announcement on this, so I'll make the official announcement now. The Saturday Night Soundtrack has been renewed to come back for the fall. So we are going to be back in September. I'll make the announcement again officially when Jarrod is here. He'll be excited, and I'm sure he will have a lot to say about it.
Of course he will.
And, but yeah, so we're going to be, our official time slot, here we go. So our official time slot next semester is 5 to 11 p.m.
Officially.
We are hoping that nothing
no interlopers
that
this time.
nothing changes in the meantime, that there's no, that party was, the meeting did not involve,
they didn't.
It was not, no, it was not.
They might have been 20 minutes late.
It was not even remotely an issue.
Okay.
Probably not, I mean, they could have been 20 minutes late, but not even possible because that meeting went on for like an hour and a half. So, it was for anybody who doesn't know, it was the meeting to discuss the scheduling for next semester, and it's always it's basically a thrilling process for me, and I probably shouldn't mention this on the air, but no one's listening, so it's fine. It's like boring, really thrilling, exciting, because I don't know what's going to happen with my slots. Get the slots locked in, boring, and then I leave. That's kind of how the meetings go. That's pretty much what it is. But they're necessary because everything needs to be decided. They want to be fair. As I mentioned to you, there were a few people the slots that really became that were really in contention were I believe it was Thursday night or like Thursday afternoon into evening. I think Thursday 5 to 7 for some reason was like a hot spot.
Strange.
Like 3 different people wanted it, and there was a rock, paper, scissors, best of 3 like playoff. Essentially, to determine who was going to get the spot. Because nobody had, it was one of those situations where everybody wanted it, but nobody had seniority over everybody else. So everyone was pretty much equal, and it was like, you go to these meetings, and it's like, you almost can't give away 8 to 10 slots, like 8 to 10 a.m., But the night slots, like the 5 to 7s, especially during the weekdays, the 5 to 7s and the 7 to 9s, those go like that. Saturday, as you can probably tell, doesn't go as fast. So I snapped those up as soon as I could. So that's it.
Well,
and
actually, did you notice last week when we left, there were gangs and gangs of kids wandering around?
Oh, my God, yes. I am concerned every week that I leave here that I am going to hit someone.
Well, I turned one corner after passing such a group, and there were 7 police vehicles all parked on one side of the road, all the lights flashing, so something went down.
Yeah, it's
the usual Saturday night revelries.
Correct. It's just concerning because I'm always like, something's gonna happen. I'm gonna bang into someone. Because you can't even tell how many of them there are.
Yeah.
And then another one steps off the curb, and you're like, oh shoot, there you are. I didn't see you there at all. Didn't realize this was happening.
Nope.
And there did seem to be a lot more last week than normal.
There was.
Maybe they're all in here.
They probably are
so
this week, yeah.
Maybe we don't have to be too concerned about it. And I just don't know where they all come from. Bogarts? Johnny Macaronis? I don't know.
Pubs.
I don't know where they're all. And the thing is, I didn't think they all. But this goes back to our conversation earlier off the air about like retail places and stuff. Maybe bars are the same. I didn't realize that they all closed at 11, or I didn't think 11 would be a hot spot to leave those places. I figured it would be midnight, 1 a.m.
I think for some reason around here, I think they all close at 11.
That's probably.
There's no reason for all those kids to be out on the street at the same time.
True. Streetwalkers.
Yes.
We'll be back next week. Take it easy, 91.5 WBIM Bridgewater Saturday Night Soundtrack. Back for the last show of the season next week. Here's Aerosmith, Uncle Salty off Toys in the Attic. See you next week. Bye.
Go F yourself.